Injury after spinal fusion is one of the scariest things. I know you definitely worry about it. I was there myself. So I'm going to tell you the top 7 things to reduce your risk of injury, my experience, and some secrets that helped me. So if you haven't already, press the plus button for more evidence-based fusion content, and let's go. Number 1 is do not rush your recovery. Recovery from spinal fusion, long fusion, usually takes around 12 months, and your surgeon may let you do things in between that 12 months a bit earlier, but you still have to remember that 12 months you are still recovering. A lot of people forget they've had one of the biggest surgeries in the world, and I'm not saying halt everything because that is my next point. What I'm trying to say is do not assume you're fully recovered just because you feel better. I had many moments in my first year of recovery where I felt fully healed even though I hadn't reached that 12 months, and there was still a lot of stuff healing internally. So I decided to keep listening to my surgeon and my parents, and I took things slow, which has saved me from a lot of setbacks and a lot of potential problems. Could I have done things earlier? Maybe, but I also could have rushed back and set myself back way more in the long term. Think long term, be patient, and it will all work out and be worth it long term. That goes on to my second point, number 2, which is the polar opposite, stopping all movement because you are scared. I totally understand why people feel this way. I mean, I felt that way myself. I was there. At the very start, you do have to be very careful. You know, your BLT, bend, lift, twist. Yes, that, not the sandwich. But there does come a point where you have to come back to doing everyday movements in everyday life. But if you don't gradually come back to doing things and moving more, your body does not adapt as well. And a less adapted body which comes back to regular things more abruptly can have a higher risk of injury. You see, it's gradual movement and exercise at your own pace which makes your body more resilient instead of just avoiding it entirely. Number 3 is the habits that matter more than you think and can have a compounding effect. Poor eating habits, poor nutrition, poor sleep, and most notably, smoking. And I know a lot of you struggle with these habits due to things like anxiety, addiction, maybe you're a picky eater, maybe you have a lower appetite, but the best thing you can do is stay on track with these as much as you can, trying your absolute best. Even if it's not perfect, better is better. Plus, smoking is probably one of the worst things you can do for spinal fusion recovery. I mean, it doesn't seem that way, but trust me, it is. And I know that smoking is a lot easier said than done, but if you could just kick it by half, that would make a huge difference if you're that reliant on it. Kicking it entirely, that makes things a lot better. You need to do that. If all of these are poor on top of each other and you don't even bother to make an effort, you're at a much higher risk of injury and fusion problems down the line. And now here's the things that go beyond your initial recovery period. Number 4, you have to respect your body's limits. Your spine has its limits, and there's just some things that it can't physically do. The fused part can't physically bend or twist, so just don't force it to bend or twist at that fused part. And avoid movements or doing things that physically push it to do things it physically can't. That could be things such as holding awkwardly shaped furniture, awkwardly shaped boxes, or boxes that you have to lift weirdly which force your fused spine to contort in ways it can't. Twisting or bending while carrying things, especially if they are heavy. Carrying objects that are just too heavy for you in general, like furniture or suitcases, or simply holding pets and children in awkward ways that just don't feel right. At least with the things that are just heavy and not awkward to hold, at least you can work on your strength in the gym for that. But if you struggle, don't force it. Ask for help. Even a well-timbered lad like myself will be asking for help. I've done it before. And that leads to my little secret I've used to reduce the risk of injury throughout my life with fusion. It's number 4, resistance training. I prioritize safe, low-impact, progressive strength training, building muscle around my hips, legs, core, and upper body. And plus, the gym teaches you how to lift things in a proper way so you don't injure yourself. Many people who are fused and also train in the gym like I do will tell you the same story about how it affected their life in a positive way. Number 5 is one of the most overlooked things that not even I think about sometimes, and that's repetitive fatigue. Basically, when your stability breaks down because of doing the same thing over a long period of time over and over again. That makes your risk of injury a lot higher, and it's especially more for us because we rely on adjacent joints, hips, and shoulders more. So this could be something like 2 hours of gardening, 4 hours of non-stop decorating and painting, cleaning all afternoon, or just building an IKEA sofa. The simple solution isn't to just get rid of these activities entirely, because then you would just not have a life, is to just simply take breaks. Doing that can reduce your risk of injury by loads. Number 6 is avoiding high impacts, which I have spoken on here about before. Falls, jumping from heights, high impact sports if advised against, running and slamming into things, landing on your feet directly and your arse. A fused spine is way worse at absorbing impact, so try to avoid this at all costs. Lastly is number 7, which is most important. Listen to warning signs. Do not just brush off persistent or worsening pain, numbness or weakness, or changes in bowel or bladder function. The sooner you address a problem, the less of a problem it can become. Your body tells you these things for a good reason. Oh, that was a big video, but hey, now you know. You don't have to just wrap yourself in cotton wool your whole life. You just have to get stronger and adapt at your own pace, while also respecting your physical limitations.